Okay, here. This is a self-contained unit, but we usually have a pot of boiling water on the side counter. Why? Because if you're using regular heaters like this, it can kick out if it gets too hot. So if we have it at about 85 degrees Celsius over there, they can dip this pan into the hot water and bring it over here. So it's relatively cool heating element, and it won't kick out, and the time involved to bring it up isn't as long. And we don't need to worry about that too much. 3 to 5 minutes of boiling is sufficient because all our samples are metal, and metal conducts heat very, very well. So you want to mask the sample. They're about 1 inch length, and they're very nice for picking up because they've got a little hook. You then put the sample into the hot water bath, and we like to put all of the samples at once in there, all 6, simply because if we make a mistake and we require 5 samples, they've always got 1 sample to spare, so they're not whining. Or me whining because I want to go home. Okay, now you also want to get a styrofoam cup and a lid that has a very small opening. You can double cup the styrofoam. What I like to do is put plastic on the bottom because when they use the thermometer, they tend to puncture through it, and then water gets all over the thing. So I cut plastic dials and put them on the bottom of this. Then you have 2 methods. You can mask the cup, pour the water in the cup, and then mass it again. By subtraction, you have the mass of your water. Or you can cheat a little bit. You can pour it into a graduated cylinder between 80 and 90 mLs, usually works for something like this, and the samples we're using. And you can take that as gospel that 1 ml of water masses 1 gram, and pour that into the cup. Now, if you have your own container of water on your table, you're fairly sure that it is either cooled down in summer because it'll come out of the tap hot, or warmed up in winter because it'll come out cold, so it's fairly close to room temperature. For each sample, you always want to take the boiling water and the water in the bath each time you do a sample. So we take the temperature out of here, put it in here, and this will be the temperature of the water in the cup. Now, the reason we have 2 thermometers is for the Science Olympiad. We were testing thermometers, and we found out that a lot of digital thermometers would take roughly 2 to 3 minutes to cool down from boiling water to something near room temperature. So it made sense to have 2 similar thermometers which have the same profile, one in here and one over here. Okay, so we've masked the water, we've got the temperature of the water in the cup, and we've measured the temperature of the boiling water, and we masked the sample in advance. So now we need to take our tongs, which are insulated so it won't conduct heat, and we're going to grab it by the little hook and put it into our system, and we're going to close it with another styrofoam cup with an opening, and then we put this in, and we have a nice rhythmic motion like this, so the water swishes. All the time we're watching the number on the thermometer as it rises. When it stops rising and comes back down, we can then take the final temperature of the system. At that point, you're going to remove this, throw away the water. You don't want to reuse that water. Dry the sample and set up the styrofoam cup and the graduated cylinder for the next sample to come out of the hot water bath. until all samples are completed.